So it's kind of weird to tell this story because this is an actual person who was in my life, and it's gonna be really fucking awkward if they watch this video, but I don't give a fuck because it's Valentine's Day and it's time to talk about these things. The reason why I wanted to share this is because, girl, when I told this story to people at the time that it happened, they felt inspired and they ended up getting someone they wanted. So why not share it on this amazing platform where more people can watch my stuff? Basically, this will show you that you can really have anybody you want no matter what the circumstances are. Because once I get into the story, you're gonna be like, bitch, what? How did you do that? Because I didn't think it was gonna happen, and then it fucking happened. I mean, we're not dating anymore. This story is like 2 years old, but it's still worth sharing. So it was summer 2017. I just graduated from high school. Shit was good, shit was fun. I was going out with my friends, and then I meet this guy, and I hadn't been with anyone for 2 years. So when I met this guy, I was infatuated. Like, from the moment I saw him, there was just chemistry straight away. The whole summer was me being obsessed with him. And see, the thing is, we weren't dating, we were just seeing each other occasionally, and nothing exclusive had been going on between us. And then there came this period where he was being an asshole and he just ghosted me basically and stopped hanging out with me, stopped like replying. So I was like, fuck you, and I blocked him for a really long time, and then we got with each other again, and this was all in summer, right? So the summer ended with him saying that he would call me, but then he never did. And this is why I'm saying this story will show you that you can have someone even when the odds are against you. He said he was gonna call me, and then that never happened, and summer basically ended exactly like that. I was on my gap year because after I graduated, I took a gap year. And I started doing different jobs, and while I was working, I started thinking about him again. And obviously it had been like 3 months by that point, so I hadn't heard from him in 3 months. I kind of want to speak to him, but my ego is way too big to message him. So what did I do? That is when I started finding out about the law of attraction, which, if you don't know what it is, it's basically when you focus on something in your mind and your focus on that will basically make it happen. That's kind of the basic version of it, but it works on an energetic level, because what the law of attraction talks about is that everything is energy, and we sort of attract the energy that we are putting out. So if we put out desperate energy, we are going to get situations that make us feel even more desperate. Whereas when we put out positive energy, we attract situations that are very positive, if that makes sense. I started learning about the law of attraction at that time. Let's test this out. So what I did was, one night, right before going to sleep, I closed my eyes, and I was so happy because I've been reading so many books on the law of attraction that instilled me with such belief in the law of attraction that I was like, we can do this. It had been 3 months, right, since I'd last heard from him, but still I believed so hard that I can get him to contact me. So I said, I really want a message from XYZ, from this person. And then I closed my eyes and I imagined the message popping up, whether that may be Snapchat or Messenger from Facebook. I just imagined different icons of those apps and his name and all of this stuff. I went to sleep feeling so happy and positive. This is gonna happen. Guess what? Next day, in the morning, there was nothing on my phone, and I didn't even let that like upset me. I was like, I just smiled at my phone. I was like, it's gonna happen anyway. And then in the evening, I think I posted something on Snapchat, but at that point I kind of already had forgotten about it and didn't even know that he had me on Snapchat. Then he responded to my Snapchat photo. I don't even know what he said. Just bear in mind, I had not spoken to this guy in 3 motherfreaking months. And he wrote to my Snapchat. So I was kind of like, this shit worked. And I freaked out, and I told some of my friends, let's take it a step further. You're gonna think I'm crazy. But I said to myself, okay, next wish to the universe. I said, I want him to think about me constantly. This sounds so obsessive and I can't believe I'm sharing this online, but fuck it, I'm already on it anyways. I said that, and then guess what? I get a message from him saying, I can't stop thinking about you. And at this point I'm like, what the fuck, bro? This is actually working. Then I wrote an apology in my notes that I wanted him to write to me, sort of saying sorry for the way that he treated me that summer. Of course, that didn't happen straight away, but we sort of started speaking again with each other. Just the occasional text, you know? Suddenly the apology came out of nowhere. Some of the words that I wrote in my notes for the apology I wanted to hear matched the words in the apology that he actually wrote me. So when all of this happened, I was like, this shit is crazy. It really works. Like, you can get what you want down to the T. Some advice I can give you about this situation is, I was having fun with it. As you can tell when I'm telling this story, I wasn't being sad. It's kind of the way that I'm telling it right now, like laughing about it and having very good energy about it and not being obsessed. Again, I was slightly, but I was like obsessed in a good way because it was mainly positive energy and I was sort of infusing the whole situation with love. Because see, after everything that happened that summer, he could have made me feel bitter, and I was bitter for a period, but then I was like, you are the person who is holding on to this emotion. You are harboring negative emotion. They might sense it a little bit, but in the end you're gonna sense it more and you're gonna sense it the most, and it's gonna affect you the most. So I made a decision. I'm not gonna be bitter and I'm gonna be loving because that is who I am, and I'm gonna be positive and joyful and laugh about things. We were sort of talking and I was very upbeat and loving about it. I had no expectations at that point because a whole summer had been behind me of having expectations and things just not going how I wanted them to go. So I would just have fun with my imagination. I remember being at work, and the thing that kept me going, because I hated that job that I was doing at the time, the thing that kept me going was imagining a message waiting for me after work, like his name and all that. I would really imagine like the actual message of what he was saying after work on my phone, and it would just keep me going because I believed it so hard. Then that actually became a reality as well at some point, that I got out of work and there were messages waiting from him. Not in the beginning when I visualized it, but it came with time, which again shows you that everything manifests that you can put into your minds. I constantly allowed myself to feel as if every wish I was putting out was already happening. And think, if what you want is already happening, how are you gonna feel? You're gonna feel freaking incredible. And I really wanted this guy. So obviously I was constantly happy because I was like, this is happening. You know, it's kind of crazy to me that a guy that I wanted all summer, who I was basically pining after, but wasn't giving me the attention that I wanted or deserved, suddenly I got the same person who was basically an asshole all summer to do a 180 and text me all the time. We had 6-hour phone conversations at night. Like, shit was going to the next level, and that's where I'm gonna get to the relationship part. After that summer, I was living in Spain for around 6 months. After those 6 months, this was all in my gap year. After those 6 months, I moved to London. And when I moved to London, this guy, he actually ended up having a job in London the same time that I moved to London. That just kind of shows you the synchronicity of things. And if you don't know what synchronicity is, it's basically when events, situations, and people sync up with each other, like they match up on an energetic level, so that if energetically, like energy-wise, something is meant to be, it's gonna match up. Everything is gonna match up. That's why I'm saying it's crazy that the same time that I moved to London, he got the job there as well. So for the next few months, everything was amazing. It felt like we were both truly in love. I mean, at least to me. I don't know how he felt, but I was in love. And then we everything was fine, but we ended up breaking up because our lives were sort of going two different ways. And that happens, but still the story shows that you can literally manifest anybody you want. And now I'm gonna give you some pointers for your situation and what you can do. I already mentioned this one advice in another video, which is to not put someone on a pedestal. And that is basically, if you want somebody, if they seem or they are unavailable, don't make them out to be unavailable in your head. Think of them more as an available person. Think, I can get this person. Think, I can be with this person. I deserve this person. And you attract that kind of energy. If I would have been stuck in the cycle that I was in throughout summer, where my mindset was very desperate and very, oh, I'm never gonna get this guy and he's just too good for me type of behavior, I would have never gotten him. But because I ended up going to a point where in my head I was like visualizing all these things happening because I knew that they would, that's what got me there. You know, I believe that everything originates from an energetic place. That means I think that energy is everything and it's everywhere and it just determines every single outcome. And I've noticed this as well in my life at the moment, where there's certain guys in my life, at my workplace or in dance classes, where I know about them that they get so many girls, but yet they're assholes, they're not good people. And then you might ask yourself, well, why are they attracting these women into their life? Because they believe that by being the way that they are and by having the energy of, I can fuck whoever I want and I'm gonna get whoever I want, they end up putting that out. And that message, that's a message that they're putting out. And energy is always a message. And women or girls receive that and they respond to it. So always think that you are putting something out and somebody's responding to it. If you put something out that says, like, oh, I'm alone, I'm single, this and that, I might joke about these things, but you know, even jokes, they carry energy. And when you constantly repeat something, it's like your subconscious gets it ingrained and starts to believe it. So just be careful about how you speak about yourself when it comes to these kind of situations if you want to attract someone into your life, because it's gonna make it or break it. Anyways, I don't like these videos getting too long. As I've said, if you like this video, please like it, subscribe, and I'm gonna be posting every single Friday. It's different topics all the time, but mainly like the spiritual type of advice stuff. So, thanks.